Hello, we are back in the tribal council area. I guess it's hard to see behind me because it mostly looks white, but it is in fact maybe raining slash about to storm. So we will do our best to stay covered and bring you everything. But in the meantime, here comes Medic filing into the tribal council area and going really fast. And I'm going to miss all of them because they were speed walking, but that's fine. I get it. They might want to take some shelter before the rain gets going. Settling into their seats now are Zoe, Brad, Drew, Louie, and Ty.
Perfect timing, Medic. Got you in here just in time for the rain. Welcome back. So last time you talked a lot about, potentially finding a group to move forward with. Unfortunately, that vote wasn't exactly unanimous. Does anyone in the group want to cop to being kind of on the wrong side of the last vote? Brad?
Yeah.
You're open to it?
Sure.
Okay. Talk me through that. Were you left out, or you didn't want to vote with the plan, or how did that kind of go from your end?
No, I think we just talked for so long that I thought I understood the direction. I it is what it is. Yeah, no harm, no foul.
Okay. How does that go now heading into this round? I mean, what's the pitch you made to kind of the group here?
I think I'm an obvious target, so I could see somebody maybe trying to shift course because I'm relatively obvious at this point, whereas on the wrong side of the boat. So that's all I said.
Okay, yeah. Louis, I mean, sometimes the obvious move in Survivor isn't the best move for you. So how do you weigh kind of those types of choices as you're kind of getting deeper and deeper into this game? We're down to, I think we're going to be down to 12 people left after this.
I think every decision you make is going to be critical to this point. So just because there's an obvious move, it doesn't mean it's the only move. And I think all of us have that in the back of our brains as well.
Yeah. I guess based on Brad being the one potentially left out last time through, that would mean that you voted with the 3 veterans at the last tribal council. How do you feel about joining that group and trusting that you're not necessarily the 4th in a group of 4?
So hard because I think when we got to this tribe and we spent the night together and we bonded in the rain, we were no longer rookies and veterans. We were just a tribe of 6 people who we all liked each other. So it's not even about that. It's just about trust, and that's where my vote was last time. I was voting out somebody who I didn't think I could trust. And it's not personal against Kevin or Brad or anything. It's just how the cards fell, and that's where we're at now.
Yeah, that's fair. You can only vote with your gut. Ty, I mean, so you've been to tribal now 2 times in a row. So tribe strength in this group should be something that is high on your priorities. I don't think it's crazy to say Brad is one of, has been performing pretty well. Is that something that you weighed here? Even though he was on the outs, is it worth keeping him in?
I mean, sure. That's potential winning. Challenge threats or people that are help our tribe in challenges is something that we consider. But there's a lot of different things that go into what makes a strong challenge competitor. So it's not necessarily just because of strength or size or anything like that. So yeah, it weighs into it. But I don't think it's as cut and dry as that. And then we're also anticipating a merge or a swap at some point soon, hopefully. But yeah, so there's a lot of factors at play.
Okay. Yeah, Zoe, I mean, in terms of planning for the merge and the swap, I mean, are you thinking of potentially trying to leave people in that are going to be shields and threats at the merge?
That's a good question. I think, I wouldn't say that's like the main, like a reason or a focus that will help factor in my vote.
Okay. What is the reason or main factor that's going to factor into your vote?
I think just paying back a favor that was done to me.
That is cryptic. Do you want to go more into what that
No.
means? No?
Uh-uh.
Okay, I'll let that one sit. It was a good line, so I'll let that one play. Brad, I mean, obviously you're the only name I've heard. What is your kind of counter offer to the group that you're going back with? Not necessarily the name, but kind of what can you offer or kind of say about the group before that'll help you kind of get into it?
I don't know. I mean, I think when I thought I've known things, I've been pretty transparent. I just don't think I knew what was going on. That's all. I don't know. That's all I kind of got at this point.
Okay. Is there anything to that, Louis? I mean, honest mistake type situation where you can, it's a new round, change and move quickly. Do you feel it, or do you feel like momentum carries too quickly?
I think it's both. I think sometimes momentum moves too quickly, and sometimes there's a door that's opened. And I think we're going to find out which scenario has happened.
Okay. Yeah. I like to end there, especially with the rain picking up, unless anyone has anything else to say. Okay, I'll let Brad go first.
All right, battening down the hatches of this tribal council. We're going to try and get this done really quick. I'm going to have a friend run over and hold the umbrella for me so I can be with the notebook and you. All right, so the rain is coming down. We are in a storm. So honestly, it feels nice and cool and I don't mind it, but I'm not playing. I get to go inside after this and I get to carry an umbrella. So, all right, just make our way. It's like pretty loud, so we probably don't have to go as far. Oh my god. I'm sorry for all the acoustics, not the best. All right, let's just camp out here. My friend Jordan will just hold the umbrella at an angle over my thing. Okay, y'all, I feel like a weather correspondent. This is like kind of really fun. Sorry, I know this isn't. Okay, they're running. Okay, hi. Okay, so very quickly have my notebook. Let's do this in a speed round. Oh, okay, so wow, and this tribe is all over the place. So, y'all, this is loud. Okay, basically, after the last vote, Drew feeling really, really sad about voting out a fellow rookie in Kevin. And so she's feeling like she really doesn't want to vote Brad. Brad not making it any easier for her. He's being literally the kindest gentleman ever. He's saying, I'll give you my sunscreen when I go. He's saying, he wants a rookie to win. So even if he goes, it's going to be like rooting for her. And so Drew was just like, oh my God, are you serious? Brad also saying he was going to listen tribal council for what the vote maybe should be. So obviously he is one name, not scripted in. But the other person potentially on the chopping block here is Zoe. Y'all, this is hilarious. Zoe apparently always has the tea and loves spilling it. And Ty, as a result, wouldn't mind voting for her. However, Louis loves that Zoe has all the tea all the time, thinks it's so funny, thinks it's so fun. And Louis and Ty have now put down their weapons from last round and are no longer Spider-Men, meaning they now are really wanting to work together. And we actually saw Louis, Ty, and Drew whispering in that back row of the tribal that maybe a plan just changed. It looked like Zoe kind of was, Drew was kind of resigned to whatever the vote was about to be and was saying, okay. Because remember, Drew doesn't want to vote Brad, but also have an ally and her party cop Zoe, although that apparently got a vote the vote because Zoe heard Drew was willing to vote her over Brad at some point in the game. So a little bit of a connection there. However, last but not least, we have Drew and Ty went off together on a journey and they spent about an hour chatting while they waited to compete, and they were just super, super bonding. So now Ty and Drew are really in lockstep. So Drew could vote with Ty to get Zoe out and maybe pull in Brad. I'm not really sure. what's gonna happen. I just know that we're all gonna get really rained on. Pretty much all I can tell you. I'm sorry if this is super loud and you can't hear anything. But we're doing our best. I do this because I love y'all, and I want you to know the latest. Okay, can you put this under your poncho and I will grab this umbrella? Yes. Thank you. Okay. We're protecting the tea notebook at all costs. And okay. Oh wait, Jordan! Okay, you'll have to tell him I'll get back if we're gonna do TC number 2 right after. Okay. Hi, one of our field producers, Nina, cuddling with me under. This almost feels like a change. Like, are we in a change? Like, we're running. Cam, maybe tabulating the votes? I can't tell. No. Oh, no. Y'all, I will say this feels so good. I, like, am loving it. Back up ish. All right, let's roll. We got host Cam here with the vote. And thanks for sticking in this wild tempest situation. Okay. Oh, sorry, you're so close to me right now. I'm gonna turn this around so y'all can see what's happening. Okay. Yes. Thanks so much.
First vote, Chloe. Second vote, Brad. Third vote, Brad. Fourth vote, the next person voted out of Can You Survive? Brad. That's 3 yes and no.
All right. All hugs all around from Brad to his fellow tribe members. And Brad now grabbing his torch.
Brad.
All right, Brad, we are going to follow you out of this tribal council area and maybe go under the gazebo to get you out of the rain and maybe get the viewers some info. Are we cool to do an exit interview over here? All right, cool. All right, friends, thanks for sticking in. What? What? Oh, that's, I mean, okay. Oh, there's hornets over there. Do you want to brave them or do you want to just... All right. All right. All right, friends. We're just going to hop on into this voting gazebo and... I don't have to clap. There we go. Okay, sorry. Okay. Brad, this is your time. We're on the live stream. So any thoughts you want to share, any feelings going on, this is your time.
Well, I guess I'll start off with I want to thank my wife, Kaylee, for pushing me to do this. I watched her do a few of them. I didn't understand how fun and cool it is. So I love you. Really appreciate you pushing me to do this. And then, no, I understood where it was at. It makes sense. I didn't understand, or I thought I had a feeling the vote was going one way. I've been on the right side of 2 other votes. I just wasn't in this case. And yeah, everything made sense. Nothing visceral. All good.
Awesome. Well, Brad, you made it super far into day 3. Incredible for your very first Survivor style game like this. Lots to be proud of. I'd like to know maybe one thing you're most proud of about your time out here.
Okay, I beat somebody in a puzzle, and I hate puzzles. I hate puzzles. I didn't finish it, but I still won the puzzle off, so I'll take that.
I love it. Such a flex. And I know a lot of time our players end up learning something about themselves that they might not have known, or maybe reconfirming something they knew. Anything that you might have learned in your time out here?
I guess I usually overthink who I can get along with and whatnot, and I generally met some of the coolest people. It was really awesome just to get to know everybody from all these different pockets of the U.S. and so it was really awesome just being able to put myself there and just meet a whole new group of people. So I'm not used to that. So.
Absolutely. And Brad, before I let you go, now that the rain is dying down, fabulous. You were playing for an incredible cause, so it's now your time to shout them out and let the viewers know who you were playing for.
Sure, I was playing for the Massachusetts Coalition for Homelessness. Yeah, I just think that we can all give back to people in need and maybe help people get back on their feet. You never know what that lending hand might be. It's a great organization that's just trying to help people get back on the right path, or just maybe they were in a tough circumstance and they needed just that extra lending hand that we sometimes all forget to do. So didn't go our way, but maybe we'll do another one and it goes back to them at some point.
Awesome. Well, Brad, thank you so much. I'm going to hand you off to your tribe handler, Barry, who will get you over to No Man's Land. We will say goodbye for now. I'm sure you can't wait to get there.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Are we staying live and doing another tribal? Okay.
We are.
Has Jordan returned with my notebook?
No, I will grab that right now.
Thank you. All right. All right.
Welcome
cool.
to Survivor, everyone.
Yes, the game is
How
live. It does not stop
Even when it downpours.
for nature or anyone. I guess now that I'm here, ooh, don't love that.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, I need to get out of here. This is our little voting gazebo. So cute. Sorry, I'm just getting my umbrella going again so the stream is not ready. So, all right, friends, we are heading back towards the Tribal Council area because we are starting another Tribal Council in the rain. In case one wasn't enough, we're now doing it again. So, Aaron, yes, Brad just voted out heading to No Man's Land. And we have another tribe filing into Tribal Council now. I believe it is New Grindel. And so they're maybe a little more eager to get here and get out of here than they might normally be for a Tribal Council. But everyone's just making their way, and yeah, so fun. Got a little bit of a sun shower such going on right now. Cute. All right. And approaching our Tribal Council area is New Grindel, Petey, Bennett, Kevin R, Cam, and Dan holding the tribe banner. We are getting the Tribal Council area a little more situated for our players. they settle on in here.
All right. Nick Rondell, welcome back. I'm sure you're not happy to be here. Dan, you received vote at the last tribal council. Did you know that was coming ahead of time?
I had a feeling because I knew that Maya was putting my name out there, so that wasn't a surprise.
Okay. Was it surprising to you that the rookies didn't try to stay together based on the 4 trial lines rather than the rookies versus vets lines?
I don't feel like we really worked with any line. Very open to work with whoever made sense to work with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kevin, by in this group to the veterans, there's 3 of them to the 2 of you. Do you feel like you've made the bonds where you can trust them and ensure that you're not 5 and 4 in that pecking order?
The footwork that I've done to hopefully feel all right tonight. But I mean, you can never be sure. Maybe it was a misstep of Maya and the veterans band together. You never know.
Okay. Hey, so what goes into it's going to be a smaller and smaller group, cutting down to 4. What are you voting on? What's important right now? Sure that the tribe is moving forward better.
Yeah, I think the most important aspect for me is really. Oh, it stopped raining a bit. Sorry. I really personally want to focus on the relationships that, as we get smaller and smaller, if we stay in the tribal phase, but also the relationship if we end up merging quite soon. What are who are the people that I can be very authentic with and have that open dialogue with, and not feel like someone's playing chess and I'm playing checkers. I want to be playing the same game as them. So it's very much where I'm trying to lead my vote today.
Interesting. I'll go to you, Cameron, about playing. Some people are playing chess, some people are playing checkers. Is that kind of a? Have you noticed that some people are playing too hard, too fast in this game?
I guess there were people early on who were looking for idols and stuff, and so that was like sketching people out. For me, what's most important is finding people that you jive with, like strategically, and moving forward with that. And like, we need like a strong unit for whatever is next. Probably emerge, hopefully emerge, and that's what I'm basing my vote on today.
Okay. Senate Camp says hopefully emerge. Are you really banking on the fact that emerge is coming up next to kind of save you guys?
I would say so. I like this group, and if emerge coming sooner means that our group can stay intact and we can have our numbers, then yes, that's a good thing in my eyes. So I would hope that emerge is on the horizon.
Okay. Are you worried about anyone in this group not really being a part of Grindel Strong and splintering off once they have other options?
I'm not worried. I think this is a very difficult vote for us, but hopefully if I'm able to survive, the group that I'm left with will have some unity. So I think a lot of people would want more allies and adversaries going into the merge. So I'm banking on that shared interest amongst the group because I do think we like each other so much.
Okay. The other interesting thing about, potential next phase of the game, Dan, is who you leave in the game, right? If it does eventually we will turn to the individual portion. You might want people in the game that are the bigger threats. Is that something that you're focusing on, Dan?
I think that's one of the many factors when considering going into the merge. Obviously, how big of a threat somebody is like a pro and a con, because you keep them in, they might help shield you, but you keep them in, they could be problematic for you. So it's kind of weighing that and balancing that, and also who you can work with once you get through into the merge, like outside of like old tribal lines, like working with this as a group.
Okay. Interesting. I'm not quite sure how this one's going to shake out. Have you all said everything that you need to say? Okay. I think we can get to the vote. We'll start with you, Katie.
All right, and we will head on out of the tribal council area in a little bit less of a dramatic way than before. Rain has super died down here, so we'll just kind of get on over to the area we want to be, and we'll have our little catch up, which will be maybe a little less fast and furious and rainy than before. All right. Heading back on over this bridge, back up to our usual spot. And as soon as I have someone holding my umbrella, I will flip us around so we can have our little chat. Pops, I'm not sure who the last disadvantage was given to, but we will go over that at some point later in today. So, okay. Hello, thank you so much, Jordan. All right, so if it'll just be right over the camera and not me, because I don't care about me, I just care about the camera and the phone. All right, great. Okay, hello. Hi, friends. All right, let's get this open. Thank you. Oh, okay, so Grindel. So we have, okay, so to start this round off, typically in these kinds of games or in Survivor, there's this method called speed dating where everyone just kind of pairs up and then switches around to get to chat with each other about what's about to happen for the upcoming tribal council. This is a group of 5. So Katie pointed out, hey, like, we're in even numbers, so we're not gonna be able to do that. So they came up with spin the bottle instead of speed dating. So they spun something, and whoever it landed on, they would go off and talk. Cam left out at first, but eventually everyone switched around. So I just thought that was kind of silly that they did that. So a common thread that we have been hearing about pretty much since early on in this game is that Katie and Bennett are kind of at odds. That is no different for this tribal council, looking like it is a Katie v. Bennett situation. On the Katie side of things, she's going around to all the guys that are not Bennett, promising alliances in other tribes if they keep her around. She's saying she's close with Louie and a few other people, and so she's trying to say, like, hey, pick me, and you not only get me, but you get like a package deal of all of my tight allies from my last tribe. She also, let's see, so she and Cam are especially close. So yeah, so she thinks she's Cam in this fight. If we could just, sorry. So let's see. Speaking of Cam, he pointed out that he thinks there's a Dan curse going on because everyone that votes Dan then gets voted out themselves, which I find amusing. Cam is pretty sure that this vote is going to be Bennett. He thinks it's going to be him, Katie, and Kevin R. that are going to go ahead and vote Bennett. On the Bennett side, Bennett now wants to vote Katie because apparently she spills a lot of info to the tribe, talking about like the advantage, talking about what happened, at their old camp. And I find that kind of funny because Bennett himself spilled the beans randomly to Cam about the Alicia idol out. So it sounds like maybe they both just like love the goss, which like they're in great company because same. Let's see. Also on this tribe are Kevin R. and Dan, who are feeling really solid with each other. And in fact, Dan is loved by all on this tribe right now. So that is fun to see. Kevin R. is kind of, going back and forth between, okay, does it make more sense to keep Katie? Does it make more sense to keep Bennett? Last time he voted for Maya because he wanted to keep this like Katie versus Bennett fight in the game for a little longer. It's nice to hide behind. You can kind of always be like, hey, look over there, that's a problem. So obviously now maybe the time has come to draw a line in the sand. So we will see. So yeah. All right, and we are heading on back to the tribal council area. I will trade my handy dandy notebook for my umbrella, although I don't know that we need it, but it never hurts to be careful. We don't want another blown out speaker situation, so yeah. All right, heading on back in, and we will find out who is next eliminated shortly. Not me being ahead of Cam for once. That's exciting. That never happens. All right, let's spin us back around as we head on into the tribal area and check in on our friends at New Grindel. They have just been silently waiting, cannot speak once the voting starts, so here to just await the votes on and Katie.
Okay. If anybody has a hidden immunity idol and would like to play one, now would be the time to do so. Okay. We'll get the votes. First vote, Katie. Second vote, Bennett. Third vote, Bennett. Fourth vote, and the next person voted out of Can You Survive? Bennett. That's 3. That's enough. We'll give you this one. None of them are right now, but Bennett, the tribe has spoken.
Best of luck, y'all.
All right, and we will just follow Bennett out of the tribal council area and head up to the left here along the tree line. Bennett, we are still live, so in a few moments, once you're clear, this will be your time to kind of share some thoughts and anything that you want to say. So we'll just head on up in this direction.
Am I talking now or am I done?
So we'll just wait to make sure that the rest of that tribe files a little bit farther away so that you can speak freely out of earshot. All right, this is your time. Anything you want to say, Bennett?
I mean, disappointed, definitely. I definitely thought I had strong relationships with the other guys, and I thought that they would see Katie as more of a wild card than me. I thought I kept it chill and social with them, but I guess they they saw me as a threat going into the merge, or maybe I said something to the wrong person. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not really mad at them. Usually, I played a bunch of these Survivor games, and I'm usually pretty bitter and pissed off, and this is the worst I've ever done in a game. So definitely still processing it all. Not mad at any of them. And I'm excited to give this battle back my all and see what the rest of my journey has in store, because I'm not done yet.
I love to hear that. You have a lot to be proud of, making it super deep into day 3. I would love to know maybe something you're most proud of about your time out here.
Most proud of? I think I think my social game, I thought I did a better job about focusing on relationships. Typically I'm a little more game bot strategy heavy, and I think that's not a bad part of my game, but definitely can get me in hot water, and I made an effort to try and shift that and focus on my social game. And then I was genuinely myself to the guys there and not some kind of character. And I guess I did what I set out to do in that sense, but didn't really work. So I don't know. I still need to process and figure out exactly what I'm proud of.
Yeah, absolutely. And before we let you head off to no man's land, you are playing for a very worthy cause. So this is your chance to shout them out to the viewers and let everyone know who you're playing for.
The Jimmy V Foundation for Cancer Research. 100% of the proceeds goes towards cancer research. very inspired by Jim Valvano's stories, NC State basketball coach, and in the 80s, and very inspiring story. Ended up passing of cancer, so felt like a cause that was very worthy for me to play for. And I love the fact that every dollar of what you donate goes towards what you want it to. And I think it's worth checking out because we all have someone in our lives who is affected by cancer in some way. And so it's a great way to make change. And I'm glad I was able to raise some money for him. Hope I can get back in and raise a little more.
Absolutely. Well, we will let you head off to no man's land. Thank you so much, Bennett. And we will say goodbye for now.
I guess so.
All right, we'll just follow him on back over to Cam to get an idea of when we will next be live so that you know when to tune in. Bennett's still processing things aloud with his handler. Love to see it. Hi, friends. When do we think we will be live again?
Just going to take a few minutes to corral the tribes, but 10, 15 again.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So see you back here in 10 or 15 minutes for the next time we go live. Thank you, everyone, for sticking in throughout that entire storm.